Welcome to Movie World Plus, the place where we talk movies plus streaming plus whatever else I want to talk about in Hollywood. I'm Andy Signor, and I'm here to review Halloween Ends, the finale to David Gordon Green and Blumhouse's reboot sequel of the original John Carpenter classic. That's right, this was a reboot sequel trilogy that was sort of ignored certain Halloween sequels and things that I think they wanted to forget. And some Halloween fans had a problem with that. A lot of people like the original Halloween 2. It just goes in a different direction. I'm not a massive Halloween fan, but I really love the classic. I did like H2O. I kind of laughed and had fun with the one with Busta Rhymes in the reality show, even though it's terrible. But I like a good slasher film, etc. And I really like David Gordon Green's remake, sequel, whatever. The first Halloween in this trilogy, I did really enjoy. In fact, it was one of the first movies I reviewed back when I relaunched Popcorn Planet. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really good. I was excited for the next one. And then Halloween Kills came around. And my gosh, was that a letdown. Just was not a fan at all. So I was very hesitant going into Halloween Ends, which is now available not only in theaters, but streaming on Peacock. You can literally log on and watch it right now. I was hesitant, but then I saw Ends in the title and I thought, are they going to commit? Are they going to finally give us an end to this trilogy, this whole franchise? I mean, I don't think the whole franchise will ever end, no matter how this movie ends, and I'm not going to spoil its ending. I think they'll find ways to keep this going other ways, but it does seem to be the end of the Laurie Strode story. Jamie Lee Curtis has made this very clear. I think that was the goal. Her story here is going to end with Michael Myers. Now, what does that mean? Will they do another reboot Rob Zombie style? I don't know. They've had so many reboots and remakes of Halloween. It's hard to keep track, to be honest. But I went in cautiously optimistic because of the word ends. They really are promoting this movie as like the final showdown between the two. And yes, there's a final showdown between the two, but the movie isn't really about Michael Myers. It's about this guy, Corey Cunningham, a new character. Now, I got to say, in the first half of this movie, which is, it takes a little while to get going, I didn't actually hate this addition of a character. The opening scene of the film is tragic and scary, and it starts very strong. And it creates a character that sort of makes a mistake and is, frowned down upon across the town. And it really gave an opportunity what I was hoping was going to be like this redemptive story of a movie. I guess I got to be careful. I'm going to give you some plot points. Instead, it becomes who's going to become evil, and Michael Myers, the energy of him, and him, who does he spare and why? And yeah, I wasn't a fan. This movie is more of a love story between these two and his own demons. And then Michael Myers shows up, kinda. And then Michael Myers does eventually show up, but it's not till the last act of the film. And if you're going in expecting this, Halloween movie, which is how they're hyping it, hyping this as a Michael Myers movie fighting Laurie, it's not. I mean, they do deliver that by the end. They do. I will say this. They do end. There's an ending. There's an ending. If you're curious, I'm going to leave it so you're curious. And I didn't hate the ending, I guess. I just was annoyed that we met this new character and all this stuff in what was supposed to be the final showdown. I would have rather seen these two really go toe to toe several more times and one up it and cleverly write why. And then the fed up, it's over, this is it, or whatever the choice, really commit to that end, no matter at all costs. And that's what I hoped this movie might have been. And it isn't. The other thing I really hoped this movie would be cool death scenes. That's what I go into wanting in a slasher film. It's there's one really cool one. I mean, out of all of them, there's one fun one with in a radio station is what I'll say. I did like that, but I wanted more of those. I want at this point, in the rebirth of the slasher genre, I don't want to watch the slow build humans walking around talking, falling in love. Yeah, you give me a little bit of that. That's what's part of a slasher, genre anyway. But I really just give me a death scene every 10 minutes. You know what I mean? That's what we're coming to expect. Surprises, shotguns, ooh, that's what these movies I feel are supposed to be. No matter how hard they try to make this be something that it's not, this is Halloween. How many versions have we had? I don't even know. 23. It's a Halloween sequel. It's a Halloween sequel in its own reboot. It's the third, so of course we want more of what we expect, which is Michael Myers stalking people and stabbing people. That's what you expect in a Halloween movie. And so, no, you don't get that in this movie. It's very important that you be warned. They're teasing you. They're trying to trick you. But weirdly enough, I didn't hate. If this was a different movie, I wouldn't have hated it. It's not as bad as part 2. To me, 2 is just a mess, an incoherent mess. This at least has an interesting story. And then when I feel like they whiffed the ending because they've wasted so much time setting up these other plot points just to get us to the showdown, when it's like, well, why didn't you just focus on the showdown, you idiots? Either give us a committed thing to this story of this new character in this new story you're trying to introduce and commit to that, or give us the finale and the ends and the thing that we expected. Instead, it's a little bit annoying. It starts okay. Laurie meets Corey. Corey is a pariah in the town. They just don't like him, given an event that happens in the beginning of the film. And he's, shamed. And, they can relate. And then, of course, the kid's name in the movie is Allison. That's right. Allison's her daughter, a little bit more grown up. And because it fast forwards a little bit. And they're trying to live a normal life. And so Allison is attracted to Corey. They know that they're a small town. They know the dramas. And are they the same? Are they not? What are their struggles? People look at me, but you're the hero and you're the blah, blah, blah. And it's like a lot of that type of conversation. I just didn't care that much. It's hard to talk about without spoilers, but I feel like they didn't go in the direction they wanted. This actor, I liked this character, and then I didn't like this character is how I'll say it. I liked it. I liked where it's headed. I was intrigued. And then I was like, okay, cool. It's not what I signed up for. It's not what I expected. Could have been cooler. And ultimately, the more I sat with it, when I left the theater, I'm like, because when we review these, we sort of have to give our initial right away thought to what did you think? Because we're seeing these as critic screenings. And I was like, it's okay. Better than the second one. And that sort of kept me going. The more I've sat on it, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty bad, I got to say. Started really strong. David Gordon Green did a really good job in the beginning, found a way to sort of retell and continue the story. And now I feel like between kills and now ends, it's ultimately just a wet fart. There's just really no purpose for it. The deaths aren't memorable. There's nothing about these sequels, especially, that's memorable at all. It's just more of the same. I don't even think Jamie Lee Curtis really gets her due or her shine. Which I felt like they did really well in the first one. I just feel like they just meander and lose their way in the second two. While the ends is definitely better than the second, it's definitely 1, 3, 2. It still has left me unfulfilled. There's a few fun moments, I guess. Overall, yeah. I mean, look, this movie is funner in a theater. I will admit that. Because there's a few moments, I think on purpose, you're sort of laughing at the idiots on the screen or whatever. And, or just stupidity of a line. There's just one scene with Corey's father. It's literally just a reaction. And had the biggest laugh of the whole theater. There's some awkward, weird and just slasher feely moments of the film that if you're going to do it, I would probably suggest see it in the theater and just embrace it, a packed theater so you can react, but you're still not going to be as fulfilled. I think watching this at home on Peacock, you're likely going to check your phone a lot is my warning to you. So take that as you will. Let me know what you think. If you saw it, if you've streamed it, let me know in the comments. Would you prefer to watch this in Peacock or in the theaters? Let's hear your thoughts. Did you go to the theaters? Give us thoughts down below. And then meanwhile, also make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell for alerts, smash that like button. And again, let me know where you saw or where would you see this if you were going to do it. Just pretend. Let's be positive. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out my previous videos here, including my She-Hulk finale review. Oh, Hulk smash. Thanks for watching, everybody.